today on Limo Talks, we have here a very special guest, Made by Mojo, aka Moses. Thank you so much for attending today, for accepting my invitation, for being our guest tonight.
Absolutely.
On Limo Talks.
Word, I'm super excited. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. He's an award-winning filmmaker. He has very strong roots in Boston. It's been working a lot towards growing and scaling, the Boston creator scene worldwide, nationwide. So we are talking the real grind here. Gen Z, he's only 18 years old.
Just turned.
This guy is going crazy already.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me again.
Yeah, of course. So for people that are just discovering you now, 10 seconds ago, right? Who is Made by Mojo in one sentence?
Okay, so Made by Mojo is a 2-time international award-winning film director, and he is responsible for making high-quality narrative short films. And other films.
All right. I like that. That's a short, powerful sentence.
Yeah, I think that was a run-on sentence a little bit. I feel like you could add that. That's such a great question because you can put so much in it, but try to keep it as concise as possible,
Yeah, we'll break it down, as it goes on the interview.
Right.
You'll get to know a little bit more of Moses.
Word.
So, what's the hardest clip or film you ever made that nobody ever talked about?
Man, that is actually such a good question. I remember it was my first short film that I've released on my social platforms. It's called Be Creative. And it was like my breakout short film that I released back in March of 2025. And it was incredibly hard because I wanted to challenge myself with something new. I wanted to step out of my own comfort zone and get kind of familiarized with different kind of shots. So I remember there was this one shot that I had where it was like, I had a camera inside of a drawer and I had my camera like on this dolly track and I had the light that would shine down to like show what was like, it was a camera, it was showing a camera. But I was all by myself. It looked like a shot that would require 2 people, but I literally had one hand on the dolly and one hand holding this light. And then I did the motion, like the exact perfect timing to get like the light turning on for different sections of the dresser. But in post-production, I was able to cut it up to make it seem like it's one solid take. It took me probably 3 hours to get the one shot that I liked because me personally, like I'm a perfectionist. I don't want to release something or do something where it's just like, it's not perfect.
Yep.
But yeah, it definitely took me a lot of time. And once I got that shot, I was like, finally.
Damn.
Like, finally.
That requires some sort of creative skills, to get like a video shot that requires 2 people with just, 2 hands.
Right.
That's impressive. That's absolutely impressive. So what's the one thing that most people assume about video makers and filmmakers that it's completely cap?
Oh, that's also another question because I feel like nowadays a lot of people would think filmmaking to be is like something as simple as picking up a camera and just shooting something, which in some cases it's absolutely true. But one thing that I would definitely say, at least for me, there's just as much that happens behind the scenes than what you actually see like product-wise. For example, for a short film that I would produce, it took a lot of pre-production, and a lot of the times it would be me writing out the storyboards, creating the scripts, making a shot list, and then actually shooting it, and then getting all the clips and editing it all together. So there's much more of a process, and I feel like it also depends on like who you are as a filmmaker. I try to prioritize story in everything that I do, whether if it's something that's 30 seconds or a minute and 30 seconds, whatever it is, I try to incorporate story. And what I think is definitely capped is when people say like, oh, just pick it up and film something. In some cases, yes, it may be true, but for getting a compelling story, for me, I like to put in the time that I take filming it, as much time that I would put into that, also behind the scenes as well, working on it as well.
So it's a whole process, right? It's not like a freestyle, just turn on the camera that's it.
Sometimes I've seen people do it where they have a camera and they record something, they post it, then boom, it blows up overnight. But with me, I try to keep my content as intentional as possible. Like, is this something that I like enjoy putting out there? Do I resonate like with the stuff that I'm putting out there? Do I think other people would resonate with the stuff I'm putting out there? So there's a lot of like hidden features behind the scenes that makes it happen.
And for all of you that for some reason don't have internet on your house and haven't seen this guy walk, it's incredible, phenomenal.
Thank you.
Check it out. I'll leave the ad down here so you can kind of check out a little bit more of his walk. It's incredible. I just have that to say.
Appreciate that.
It's absolutely incredible. What's your I almost quit moment?
Man.
And why?
Oh my goodness. I feel like there's like a number of like I quit moments that I've had in my journey because I am so young and like, you know, it's a lot, it takes a lot of pressure, you know what I mean? And I wasn't even expecting to be where I was today, but I do recognize how much work I put in to make it to get to that point. But I had a lot of I quit moments. I remember this was back in early 2025. I was going through a lot at school, just my own personal life. And, you know, I always had this battle. I was just like, is this something that I really want to continue to do? And I think it was just stress. Stress is real. That one thing I do want to say, like, prioritizing your mental health is something that, you know, I definitely take into account because I feel like it often gets overlooked. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, they don't understand how, you know, your mental health can play like a huge role in like how you are and how you act, how you operate. And so I feel as though like back in early 2025, I was going through like a lot of stress. You know, I was in my junior year of high school. I was trying to end off that year strong. I had a bunch of exams and just personal things happening in my life. And it really put a toll on me. And I was like in those thoughts of like, do I even want to continue to pursue filmmaking if this is how I'm feeling right now? Mm-hmm. And I was really close because in that period I haven't released anything. I remember I made a film about this. It's called I'm trying to think. It's called How the Last 6 Months Changed My Life. Mm-hmm. And in that video it talks about how, you know, 6 months ago I was going through just a lot of craziness in my life, and I genuinely thought that, you know, the last project I was gonna make, I thought that was gonna be it, and I didn't think that, you know, I would continue on to make dozens and dozens of more films. And one thing I just want to say too, because I was able to overcome that, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people, they don't take a second to like really reflect on like how mental health can actually affect you. Mm-hmm. And I knew that it was having an effect on me. Like even in my mom, for a big example, you know, she's really good at seeing stuff when I don't see stuff. So I would come home one day after like filming or doing some work. She'll look at me in my face and be like, "Baby, what happened? Like what's going on?" And so I'm forever appreciative to have like the resources like that in my life, because again, I was down in an I quit moment so many different times. And you know, having those people around you to support you is something that I truly appreciate, because it then was able to get me out of my circle and get me out of my bubble. And that's another thing too. I in my film, I broke it down into 3 Fs. I broke it down with faith, family, and foundation. Faith being something that I truly, you know, I guide by, I look by, I apply it in everything in my life. Family, since I'm surrounded by them daily, you know, keeping my circle close. And then foundation, like where do you lay your foundation? And just having those people around you in your life can actually change. And I guarantee you, without them, I would have probably still been in that I quit moment.
I see. And talking about stress and pressure, how was the start, the beginning of everything, especially being on a school, you know, because you're trying to study, you have a lot going on, right? You have your friends. Mm-hmm. Were your friends supportive? Mm-hmm. Did they kind of like understand what you was trying to get? Absolutely. Or they didn't got your vision, you know what I mean? How was it?
Yeah, no, so it was really great. I was fortunate enough to it was during the summertime, mm-hmm. when all of this happened. And I wasn't even in school for it to happen, which I kind of am glad for, because if it was, I feel like it would have been a lot more pressure. Uh-huh. But it's honestly great, because I have a good team of people behind me. I have a good support system behind me. And they're always supportive of me for whatever I do, whether that be just like us being just together, just talking, or in my work, you know what I mean? Like even, I'll show a lot of my friends to this day, like I'll have projects that I make, I'm like, yo, give me some honest feedback on this. Like, what can I do better in this? So I'm not just my own personal judge. I have like people behind me that can say, hey, maybe you want to like maybe you want to make this a little bit louder. Maybe you want to cut this clip out and add another clip that you did, you know? And it's just honest, you know what I mean? And I cherish those relationships now because I know that they're there to see me succeed, and I know that I'm there for them to succeed as well. And it's not something where it's just like, it's just one thing, because again, these are my brothers, these are my guys. Like, I can name drop a few, like my good friend Micaiah, my good friend PJ, like those are my guys. And we quite literally do everything and anything together.
Those are the day ones.
Those are the day ones, like freshman year high school, like that's history class, that was it. And then I also like to say even my brother, besides everything, is probably like my biggest like inspiration too, besides like my mom and my friends, because you know he's been an artist, he is an artist right now. And I used to do like a lot of his videos when he started, you know, becoming an artist. And you know, just seeing him shine and just seeing him do all of these things, it was really like, wow. It gave me like the motivation to say like, yo, I can do this too. And you know, our bond is so tight, man. I love him with all of my soul, and you know, and that's why I'm super grateful to even have those people in my life, because it's like it's your own foundation, you know? And once you have those people in your circle that can like support you, you're really unstoppable. You know what I mean? You know, of course, like the work, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of hours, but you know, if you have those people that are by your side when you're working, when you're not working, even on those days where you just don't feel like doing anything, you know, it's all to put you in a better position. And so that's why I truly appreciate all of them.
Yeah, and it's very important to spread the word, you know, because sometimes people are afraid to start something of, you know, just being on that goofy side or whatever, or people, you know, making fun of him or whatever it's the case. But people actually don't realize that they have a lot of people around them that actually support them no matter what they're trying to do. You know? So if you gotta start something, if you have idea, if you have something in mind, just start it, you know. Don't be waiting for something, and also don't be just concerned about people judging you, because people will judge anyway. So just start your thing, you know, because you can be anything you want. Right.
Absolutely.
And it's very important, you know, to have people like you that started very young, you know, to show other kids that they actually able to make it too. It doesn't matter what industry it is, you know. It's just a matter of putting the hard work into it, and actually dedicating time and all that.
Absolutely. Those are words of advice. That's words of wisdom right there. I feel like I would have been able to say it better myself.
I mean, but you can tell it by what you're saying, you know, like you give an inspiration to people. And that's very important, because again, 99% of the people, they don't ever touch the extraordinary because they're just too afraid of risking it. So just risk it, you know.
Listen, I've done a lot. There was a lot of things where it's just like, I might have to take this risk. I won't be able to take this next step in my life if I don't put in that risk, or if I don't take that risk, you know what I mean? So I definitely agree with that.
That's absolutely the word.
Oh, is this on like the Newbury Street area?
Yeah.
Oh, can we go down Newbury Street?
Of course.
Okay, word.
I
was like
100%.
I was like, yeah, because my thing is too, like I can also mention this, like on my free time, I love going to Newbury Street. Like anybody and everybody and their moms just knows that if I'm not at home, I'm on Newbury Street.
So tell me a little bit more about your favorite spots in Newbury Street.
Oh, listen, so what I like to do is even like after school, like, or just as much, because with me, I don't have a lot of free time. But when I do have free time, I like to use it wisely. I sometimes go to the Common, Boston Garden when it's nice to just relax and, you know, read a book, go on my computer, write some scripts or whatnot. But on Newbury Street, that's where like I have a lot of connections there, and I'm able to go there. I see a lot of familiar faces that I know, and it's low key like a family, you know. Concepts is a beautiful store that I've done some work with before. I've recently shot my last Think You Know Boston series in that store. Huge shout out to Dion and Damien and everybody running that store. They're phenomenal. And shout out also if you're talking about Newbury Street, I cannot say this without saying thank you to my guy at Mr. T. You know who you are. I appreciate you so much. You hook me up with the bobas every single time. So if you're watching this, just know that you are my guy, and you know, forever grateful for you. Yeah, if I'm feeling like a little like not bougie, but like I go to Newbury Street a lot, and if I'm feeling a little, that looks like Millie's. Maybe I'm bugging, but that looks just like him. You know, with the hat back there.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, I have no idea. I mean, I wouldn't be
See,
surprised.
This is Boston.
This
man.
is Boston,
This is
right?
Boston. It's a small world.
Right, literally small world.
So you like to come here to walk, take inspirations.
Yes.
You know, they have a bunch of stores here, left
Absolutely.
and right, beautiful
Those
places.
concepts
You know.
Yep.
And I saw you into fashion. You have a very nice style.
Oh, thank you.
right?
Yeah.
So do you have like any particular store here? You know that that you like to go and take a look at clothes and all that, or
Absolutely. So for my fashion people, because I know like people's like, oh, like there's no fashion scene in Boston, which I want to say, for everybody out there, yes, there is a fashion scene in Boston. There's so many things that Boston has to offer. We're just in that period where we're putting it on the map, slowly but surely. But on Newberry Street specifically, like I said, Concepts is the store. I love that store. You know, they have a lot of variety, and that's something that I appreciate about them too. They have so much variety, and you know, I oftentimes go there. They have a lot of good pieces. Also Zara, I know it's more commercialized, but Zara got some great pieces that I have in my collection. And then there's also a couple like thrift markets on the street. I remember the grand opening of this one place called Viviant Vintage. It's like way up Newberry Street, but they got some great pieces. And yeah, honestly, like Newberry Street's not just a place to where you can just shop around. It's like also a place where you can get inspiration.
Yep.
Like there will be times where I'll genuinely walk on the street just to walk on the street. Like even today, before this interview, I was walking on Newberry Street just because, you know, I wanted to get that creativity flow. And, you know, people can call it weird, but I just find it to be something like inspiration for me. Because again, this city has so much to offer. And it may be just a street for other people, but for me, I look at it as just like a gateway, in a sense. You know, just walking it up and down for miles, even in the summertime, wintertime, I use it as just like a creative platform for me. And that's something that I cherish. And that's something that I feel like Boston, you know, Boston is getting in that period, or being close to getting to that period. And I'm just forever grateful. And I'm super glad we're going through this shift now. And a lot of people are going to be able to take advantage of Boston and what it has.
And talking about, you know, all those activities, walking a lot, inspirations,
Yeah.
you must be hungry in the meanwhile.
Oh my goodness.
So what are your favorite spots here in Newbury Street and maybe around here? You know, they have a bunch of, this is Back Bay, right?
Right,
so
yeah, this is Back Bay.
You have like a lot of
my
snacks,
goodness.
you have a lot of food, you know,
let's do it. Okay. So since we're talking Newberry Street, and this is low key an ad. Not even an ad, but like
Yeah.
Since this is Newberry Street, I gotta shout out my guys at Crazy Good Kitchen. Crazy Good Kitchen has one of the best burgers I've ever had in my life. Oh my goodness, they do it right. it ain't Five Guys, it ain't Burger King, it ain't McDonald's.
It's better.
It's better.
I see.
It's way better than that. Crazy Good Kitchen. It is a Crazy Good Kitchen. That's definitely on Newberry Street, but like even like towards Mattapan and like the neighborhoods, because I feel like a lot of people, they talk about like the city and city culture, but we gotta go more into the neighborhoods as well. Like Mattapan, where I'm from, they got PNR, which is like a Jamaican restaurant. They got beef patties, the best ice cream I personally ever had. Oh my goodness, there's so much.
Let's make it a little bit more difficult.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
From 10 to 1, number your places that you like until we get to the number one spot that you know, that's the one.
Oh
if
my
there's only
goodness.
one place in your life, you know, that you can go for the rest of your life, what's the spot?
Oh my goodness, this is a great question. Okay, and this is okay. Full disclosure, this is in no order. Well, kind of is, but like I love them just as much. You know what I mean? I'm not saying one's better than the other. This is just for the ranking of the list. Okay, number 10. Oh my goodness, this is so hard. So this can be like anywhere in the city?
Anywhere in the city, and when we talk about Boston, we also consider the suburbs, because that's a big
true.
fight.
Right,
People
right.
be bugging, you know, oh, Boston, it's Boston. If you are from the suburbs,
Right,
that's
right.
Massachusetts. Bullshit, that's
Right.
Boston.
Okay, listen, okay. So if that's the case, I'll say easy, number 10 is CJ's Pizza and Gourmet Grill in Sudbury, Massachusetts. It's a little bit more far west, but I definitely think because like again, like my school is not too far from there. When I'm hungry and I just want to bite, like CJ's, it's like it's always there for you, and the pizza is like top tier, like for sure top tier. Oh man, there's gonna be a lot of pizza places on here, so hold on to that.
Yep.
Number 9. Oh my goodness, I gotta say Flames. Flames for my people out there in Boston in the neighborhoods and whatnot. Flames is that spot. Like if you're hungry and you have like a little Jamaican craving, Trinidad, all the islands. There you go. Not even that. It's your place. It's your place to go.
You gotta hit that spot.
Right. You gotta hit that spot. Oh my goodness. 10 is so.
We're going for number 8 now.
Okay, number 8. Okay, number 8. See, because this takes a lot of thought. Because I'm really appreciative of this because I never even thought to like rank these places. So like.
And don't forget the number 1. It's that place.
It's that place, right?
It's that place. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Listen. Number 8, and this is no particular order. Number 8, I would have to say Down Home in Dorchester. Down Home is like super good. I remember when it was quarantine, and you know like the whole world was shut down and a lot of that stuff. And my family, like we really like were inside for a majority of the time. But like for the moments that we could go outside, like Down Home was like the place to go to just get just like quick soul food. They just cook up a plate for you, then boom, it's there. I love it. It's fresh
out
right?
the oven.
Mm-hmm. Number 7, right? Number 7 or
yep, number 7.
Number 7. I gotta say Yamato. Yamato 1 and Yamato 2. Yamato 1 that's in Brighton, and Yamato 2 that's actually right over there on Boylston Street.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I've never had Japanese food as good as Yamato. Like that's not even an understatement. I went to California, had some okay Japanese food, but Yamato, in my humble opinion, is one of the best Japanese restaurants that you can go to. Hands down. Fight me. Somebody, fight me.
Yep,
Fight me.
Yep.
If you disagree, please.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a talk with you about that.
Drop the suggestions on the comment. You know,
yeah, listen. If you have any
Japanese
suggestions,
sport.
listen. Right. Dang. Oh, are we headed back to the? Because we can go on Newberry Street again if that's what you want.
Yeah, I'm kind of basically like
just
going
squaring
around. You know, I'm going
Word.
to the park and then I'll
perfect.
do a
Yeah,
loop. You know.
Word. All right. So number
and then
6.
we'll stop like at all the places that you want to stop.
Word. Number 6. Yo, this is so good.
this is
so good.
difficult.
And then we're about to get to top 5. That's where I really got to put my brain cap on.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. All right, I figured out my number 5. I just needed to get my number 6. Number 6, I would say,
Like let's do it a little bit easy for number 6, like a fast food chain.
Oh, like a fast food chain?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Your favorite.
No, listen, and I hope they're watching this too. Chick-fil-A on Newberry Street. Hear me out, guys. Say what you want about Chick-fil-A. There's no other experience better than eating Chick-fil-A inside of the Chick-fil-A in Copley. I love that Chick-fil-A so much. The staff are super supportive, like Matt and Alex. Like, you guys are incredible, and you guys do great things, and the food is delicious. I tell all my friends to go to that Chick-fil-A specifically. For like fast food, if you're just, for me, for example, when I get off the school bus, I like to take that journey all the way to Back Bay, and I even like, I'll be tired and I'm like, oh, what can I get in my stomach? First thing that comes to my mind is that Chick-fil-A. I love it. It's near and dear to me. I would be very sad to see them go, but I'm super glad that they're here to stay. So I would definitely say number 6 is definitely Chick-fil-A in Copley.
You heard Chick-fil-A. You better get some burgers to this guy.
Yes.
You know, get that fresh chicken. You know what
sandwich.
I mean? Yes, sir.
The regular classic sandwich meal. You know that they all know.
Shout out to Chick-fil-A.
Shout out to Chick-fil-A.
And what about the sauce? Do you enjoy the sauce?
Okay.
That's
Hot
a
take.
must, right?
Hot take. Hear me
That's
out.
a must.
People love and hate it. Polynesian sauce is the best sauce out there. I know y'all are gonna be like, oh, Chick-fil-A sauce, that's my favorite. Nope. Polynesian sauce is the sauce in every season. Literally every season. It can be summer, Polynesian. Winter, Polynesian.
That's the word.
It's beautiful. It's so good.
And what about number 5?
Ooh,
now it gets interesting.
Now we're in the chopping blocks. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Number 5, easy. Fogo de Chao.
Oh,
Fogo de
that's a
Chao.
Brazilian restaurant.
The Brazilian steakhouse.
Yeah.
I go there not habitually, but like annually. Annually, I go there. And I purposely go there annually because every single year, it keeps getting better and better. I remember my first year going there, I had no idea what I was expecting for a Brazilian steakhouse. I never had Brazilian food before. And the way they did it at the restaurant is like, I had this table, you know, you can get like your things, like the rice and the beans and all that. Mm-hmm. But like for the meat, they gave you a card. They give you a card that says, yes, please, I want more, or no, I don't want more. I didn't know how that card worked, so I just had it on yes the whole time. So when all the servers, they had these big like pitchfork things of just whatever kind of meat, steaks, brisket, whatever. I don't even know half the stuff they just kept bringing it out, and then they would like slice it. I'm like, okay, you can add some more here, and then they just won't stop. They won't stop until you put the card that says no.
Literally all you can eat.
All you can eat, and I remember leaving there just like not being able to breathe because of just how phenomenal like it was.
You know, funny fact.
Yeah.
In Brazil, whenever we go to, that's what we call the churrascarias.
Churrascarias.
Yeah, it's basically steakhouse in Portuguese.
Got you.
So whenever we schedule to go to a place like that, we don't take breakfast. We don't eat nothing during the daytime.
Makes sense, right? Because you got to save your appetite.
Yeah, you save your appetite, and once you get there, you eat all you can eat.
Oh,
that's
my
basically
goodness.
It. That's like a culture.
That's me on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
I don't eat anything on Thanksgiving Day until it's time for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Like that is the number one rule.
That's the way to do it, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's easy. Number 5. Number 4. Oh man, this is getting rough, guys. This is getting real rough, guys. Okay. Number 4. I'm gonna put you guys on because this is not like a commercial restaurant, but it's very like a if you know you know. Ready?
Yep.
It's called Tejeda's Market, Tejeda's Mercado.
Uh-huh.
But in the back of their bodega, they got the best Dominican food. Oh my goodness. So ready? They got $10 plates. They just give you some rice, chicken, plantain, plátano, everything, pork, literally anything you can think about. They have it in that restaurant.
And what is that?
It's Dominican food.
But where's it located?
Oh, it's located right on Blue Hill Ave. Over there, I think over there by Jubilee Christian Church, right across the street. You go down a little bit next to the barbershop, Tejeda's Market. That is the place
to get Dominican food.
To get them like the place to get Dominican food. And listen. I want to get as much people out there because I would post my plates sometimes on social media and everybody be like, "Ooh, Moses, what you got
going on?
Right, what's that plate? You gonna save me some?" And yeah, listen, that I've never had. I literally had it before coming in this interview. I had a nice chicken plate with beans and plantanos and white rice.
Oh my God!
Right
that's
before doing
up.
this interview, so I'm telling you, I'm there.
That's some
often.
Whole Foods. People
right.
need to start eating Whole Foods
Literally,
again.
yes,
You know?
and it literally fills you up. It fills you up, and you're not spending like $25, $30. You're spending $10 on a plate that will last.
It's a fair price,
it
you
is
know,
a fair
and a great
price.
quality, right?
Absolutely,
That's the way to do it.
Okay, number 3. Ooh, top 3.
Yep, top 3 now.
Oh my goodness, we made it to top 3.
You better get your mother food on that list too.
No, listen.
Otherwise, you're slipping on the floor.
No, listen. Okay, I got you. Number 3. Number 3. Jeez. This is crazy. I'm sorry. I'm just like I've never put in these situations. Number 3. Gotta say PNR. PNR is number 3. Any single day.
Location
on Blue Hill Ave. All of these places are in proximity of each other. PNR, hands down, I think in the city of Boston is the best place to get a beef patty, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Beef patties are it's like a delicacy. You know what I mean? Like you can have a beef patty literally at any time of the day. But for me, and for my folks out there who can agree, I get my beef patty with Jamaican cheese and cocoa bread, and I have them like toasted a little bit. Oh my goodness, boy. That is like the meal right there. And I go there every day in the summer. I probably like spent all of my days after work on summer just going to PNR, getting a patty with cocoa bread. Because there's just like, again, like this is food that will fill, like it will legit fill you up. You know what I mean?
Number 2.
And so yeah, number two, because I already have my number 1. That's easy. You know what I mean? Technically, you can count it as a restaurant, but number 2, it didn't even come to my mind. It was just like that. Number 2 is Slade's in Roxbury, cooking up soul food for almost 100 years, guys.
Wow, that's some history.
It is some history, even more history. Bill Russell, who used to play for the Celtics, actually had ownership of Slade's. And even before that, I featured this in my short film called Think You Know Boston, where I interviewed Brittany, which she's the current owner of Slade's. And Renner Slade, who originally came to Boston from the South in 1928, I believe. I think it was 1928. He established his business up here, and he was able to take the stuff that he learned down south and bring it up north. So that's why the whole theme and everything is soul food, and it's food for your soul. And oh my goodness, I never had a plate that really embellishes that more than Slade's. You know what I mean? It's such a historic place. But then you know the history, and then you eat the food, and you're reminisced of like what was once there, sitting in those chairs. So that's an easy number 2 for me.
That's the vibe right there.
That is easy. And then number 1 for my best food spot in Boston, I have to say, at home, at my kitchen.
Yes, sir.
My mama's cooking.
I love that.
Mama's cooking. Mama, I love you. Oh my goodness. You tell her to make anything in the world, and sometimes she'll just make it, just whatever. I'll come home after one of the worst stressful days at school to come back to where she randomly cooks soul food, and I'm like, I'm sitting here about to cry because it's like I had this stressful day, and because soul food usually cook on like occasion, like Christmas, Thanksgiving or whatnot. But getting soul food on like a regular day, that's like a golden ticket right there.
That's a blessing right there.
That's a golden ticket right there. But then there's so much variety too. Like one thing that my mom loves to cook too, she loves to cook salmon. She loves to cook salmon, and she had a new technique of like doing it in like the oven, and oh my goodness, it is the best salmon I've ever had in my life. And anything that's regarding like my mother's cooking, I gotta say is the best, because there's no other food that can fill me up more than that. And that's not even an understatement. That's full transparency. Like that is, my mom's food is the best food that I ever had. And always will have.
When mama.
Yes, I love you. I love you.
Yeah, and talking about, I can see that you have like a very strong relationship with your mother. Is there anything, that deep inside you dream about? What's like the future? How you see yourself in the future with your family, Is there anything that you haven't achieved yet that you want to achieve, and give back to your mother or to your family? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. I first things first, I want to say that I'm doing this for a specific reason. You know what I mean? I'm not only using it as just a platform for me to like share my talents and share whatever, but like there's so many pieces that are much deeper than just what you see on Instagram. I love to do this. This is something that I continue to grow. I'm going to continue to grow my business. But at least for future, one thing, my first goal and my first priority is making sure that I give it back to my mom. You know what I mean? People will, you can literally ask anybody who ever asks me, like, who do you give credit for what you do? I mean, obviously, like, I'll say myself, but for when I don't, I always say my mom. I've never had somebody who spent hours and just sacrificed her legit life, really, if you think about it. I mean, she does amazing things, but that level of sacrifice that I had, it's really something that's important to me, you know what I mean? And whether that just be just investing in myself, I was able to get to a point to where I can get paid with doing the stuff that I love, whether that working with clients throughout the city or whatever the case may be. So, I always make sure that she gets a percentage of whatever I make. And she's always like, oh, Moses, I want you to like build it for yourself. But she'll always insist on me like holding on to it, which I appreciate you. But no, like even small little gestures like that, because I wanted to know how important she is to me and how like transformative she's been in my life. And, she always she always used to joke like us as kids, and I used to always joke with her as kids, saying like, oh, like I want this BMW X5, this specific color with the cream interior, with leather seats, and the whole nine. And you know, I'm getting more and more to that position where I'm like, oh, you want that BMW X5? Absolutely, Ma, I got you. You know what I mean? And that's something that it's gonna give me more fulfillment. You know what I mean? Like I love doing the stuff that I'm doing, you feel what I mean? But it's also for the people who support you throughout your way and not forgetting like what they've done. And my mom is the epitome of that. So whatever it is, like even like house, car, what, like listen, I will for sure get that for you. And you know, I'm forever grateful. I'm forever blessed because a lot of people, they don't grow up having like a mother like that. You know what I mean? They don't have that sort of resource or that tool. Not even tool. I hate to use the word tool, but they
supportive,
don't. That support, yeah, like that being there when you're down, like that shoulder to lean on. You know what I mean? And I'm incredibly grateful to say that I even have a mother in my life who's not only there to support me and not only sacrificed her life to give me the best, but continuously invest in my greatness. Because one thing that she also told me, she was like, I want you to be better than I ever have been. You know, I sacrificed my life, you know, because I want to see you shine. I want you to be bigger and better than I ever been. You know what I mean? And I have some of the best advice in my life and the best things that I've learned are through her. And I mean this with everything inside of me. Is like, I would not be in this position if it wasn't for her. And Ma, if you're watching this, like, I love you so much. Listen, not only that, like, she's also like my manager. so like, you know, there's like a business side and everything, and she's also very professional as well. She has her own marketing firm, and she manages a bunch of like teenagers as well. But then she also has her own marketing firm that she also runs on the side with investing in being a partner in my business as well. So it's another thing, just like keeping it in the family, and you know, she's always there to support me, and that's where I see myself going, at least for support. Of course, like I'm gonna make sure my family's straight. Like we're straight now. I'm talking just like beyond that. You know what I mean? But definitely starting first with my mom, because without her, I would not be who I am today.
So tell us a little bit more about your roots. Where did you grow up, and how that environment affected your creativity? Oh,
absolutely. That's a great question. So I grew up in Mattapan. For my people who don't know where Mattapan is southern Boston. It's a neighborhood, one of the core neighborhoods that makes up the city. You know, we're split up into many different neighborhoods like Roxbury, Dorchester, Hyde Park, Roslindale, Mattapan. And I pride myself from being from Mattapan. I love it here. I've been here majority of my life. And my thing is, how it shapes my creativity, like it's just such, it has like this image that a lot of people kind of overlook. You know what I mean? People look at Mattapan and there's a stigma behind that, where it's just like it's a dangerous place and a place where, you know, you don't want to be. But for me, I think it's such a creative place for me personally, because that's how I was able to kind of get where I'm at today, is just like looking at my neighborhood and being like, oh, you know, there's this thing that people say about it. What can I do to change that? You feel what I mean?
Yep.
And not to go too much like away from the question, but with that question in mind, I had an idea. I wanted to create a documentary about my neighborhood, because I wanted there to be that, I wanted to break the negative stigma that so many people had with the neighborhood. And so I created the first ever video production program for my Boys and Girls Clubs, which is eventually going to be widespread to other Boys and Girls Clubs as well, to where other kids can like be a part of making films that change lives and whatnot. I'm sure I can go more deeper into this later, but for me, because like this is where I'm from, like even with that making that documentary, it went on to be a 2-time international award-winning film, and I was 14 when I did that. I was super young when I did that. And I love to put Mattapan on the map, because people sleep on Mattapan. We have greatness.
So what did young Mojo wanted to be before even turning into be like a video maker?
Oh man.
Before you started being a video maker.
That's perfect, because now I get to talk about like what I wanted to be, like what I used to be. Before being a filmmaker, you know, I wanted to be a pilot. You know, I was on the path of being the best aviation pilot that the world has ever seen, you know what I mean? Even to this day, people, they don't really look at me for aviation, but like, if there's a plane flying by in the sky, I'll be able to like identify it, make, model, airline, whatever. To this day, you know what I mean? And aviation is something that I still love. It's not like a lost passion, it's a different passion. It's like a new passion. Like for filmmaking, like that's the new passion that I took on, but me being super, super young, I've always wanted to be a pilot. And I remember for my 11th birthday, my mom, she got me my very first pilot's manual, which I still have it to this day. And sometimes if I get bored, I'm just like, ooh, maybe I should look at this for a little bit and see if I can sharpen up my skills. Because again,
new,
like
right?
I could still be a pilot to this day, you know what I mean? Everything is possible.
So they have this very popular saying that people, almost everyone thinks they can fly a plane. Can you actually fly a plane if needed?
Oh, yeah. So if it depends on what plane you have, because a lot of the newer planes, they have like automatic land where they can contact like air traffic controls and they can like automatically land the plane for you. Mm-hmm. But if it was like an older model, I would say you can definitely still do it. It may be a little bit harder if you just don't know where things are. Because again, like you have your Boeings, which is a whole different model of aircraft, and then you have your Airbus. That's another. It's like every plane is different. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if you understand it and you know where all the things are, I'd definitely say yeah, you can fly a plane.
You can fly a plane.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. So who was the first one to actually believe in your vision and to support you?
Dang. This is about to turn into the Moses Talks About Mom interview.
Yeah.
But without a doubt, the person who even encouraged me to do what I'm doing today right now is my mom. I told her, I was like, when I got my first camera. I got my first camera back in 2018. It was a gift from like from my brother-in-law. And you know, I had it with no intent of like making anything out of it. So I would just sometimes just record stuff outside, you know, get a couple of my buddies together, shoot some films with them, or just really like cringy projects. Mm-hmm. But there was this one day too where I was just in the living room, you know, like experimenting with the camera, and my mom, like she was watching me just doing that. You know, like to this day, like I always wonder, like was she just like what was she doing, just staring at me like admiring the camera? Because I don't know. But, you know, she was just watching me just like enjoy this. And, you know, like she could have saw like the enjoyment that I had with like operating the camera and making sure that things were good. But then I also, like, I told her too, I was like, hey, this is like, I told her like, I'm having so much fun with this. I remember that night, like I stayed up mad late because I was like, I got my hands on the camera, like this is cool. I'm going to learn everything and everything. And she was 1,000, even from that moment, like she said, listen, like to this day, she said, whatever that you need for you to succeed, whatever it is that you need, I'm here for you. Like there was never a point in my life where I ever had to like think about how I'm going to be able to do something, because I had somebody who believed in me for any walks of life and who was able to make a sacrifice to actually get me to where I am today. So I never had to really worry about like, will I be able to have this, or would this be an issue trying to achieve this? Even just like with goals, like with filming videos, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She was always like the one where I would show my projects to and be like my biggest fan, like my number one fan. And so I remember those days. Like there's certain things that you just don't forget. Like I will never forget those conversations that we had, you know, when I was young and getting into this. And like there was so many different things. Like I remember there was this vivid memory, and I know she remembers this too because she was like, what? My mom, she got me like another camera, like probably like a year after I got the first one. I think my first camera, like there was something wrong with it. Like it wasn't working properly. So she was like, well, I want you to continue to be in your passion. Like, how can I help you? And she said, you know what? I'm going to get you a new camera. And she was like, what camera do you want? I was like, oh, I want this, this. I completely forget the name or the model. No, I think I do. I remember. It was called the Canon XL1S. That camera, though, mind you, I'm recording on this thing called an SD card. Those older cameras took like tapes, mm-hmm. and like they weren't really like cool. But since I thought the camera looked cool, I wanted to have it. But those cameras were actually like 15, 20 years older than I was at that time.
Retro, right?
Right, like retro cameras. Like they took like mini DV tapes. But I thought they took SD cards, so I was like, "Ma, this is it. This is the perfect one." Da 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 da. I like, yeah, this is perfect. And then she was like, "Are you sure this is the one, or are you just saying that?" I thought that I knew what I was talking about at that time, so I was like, "Yeah, no, like this is the camera. This is it." And then she was like, "Don't worry." A week later, package came in the mail. It was that exact camera.
She got it.
She got it for me, and I was like, just like those moments like that. Like I'm so grateful. I'm forever grateful. One thing that's funny about that too is like when when I said, "Hey mom, like this camera, like I can't actually, like I can turn it on, like I can point it, I can record it, but like I can't actually like record like the videos that I'm seeing." So she's like, "Moses," and then we had to go through the whole process, getting all the bubble wrap, putting it back together. Surprising enough, we were able to send it back to the person, but learning experiences for my people out there. Learning experiences. You never learn, you never know until you learn. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you never grow unless you learn.
Yeah.
And that was definitely a learning experience for me. And yeah, that's I would say for who like my biggest support is. Like when I first got started, definitely say my mom for sure.
And talking about learnings, you know, mistakes, what are the struggles that you had on the early stages that you still feels you these days?
No, listen, and I can really say a lot about that because it hasn't even really changed since I first started doing filmmaking. One thing that I could definitely say is still persistent is just a lot. Oh wait, sorry. I didn't even realize. Quick side note: we're driving by Emerson. This is like one of my dream schools since I'm going into my college years. Like this is the school that I applied to, and that's the one that like I'm trying to get into. Not to like take away from that. I thought
Manifestation.
Right. Listen, like we're talking about filming, and we drive by Emerson campus, and like I just saw it. That was. I love this school. I really hope I get in.
Emerson board, please watch this video and accept this kid. You know what I mean?
My portfolio is stacked. Whatever you guys need from me, I will give it to you. You know what I mean? I love y'all so much. Your campus, your program is amazing, and I feel like I'll be really great at your school. Really good at your school.
And let's spread the word, guys. Comment, share.
Yes, Emerson. Tag Emerson in this, please.
Let's make this go viral.
Right. But what were we saying? Sorry, what was the question? Dang, I'm so sorry. Things to this day that I still felt from when I was younger. One thing I definitely could still say is like persistent is, you know, the pressure. Like it's a lot of pressure from first starting off and even like now. I feel like now there's even more pressure than it was like early on beforehand. At least when I was a kid doing this, I was probably like the only kid out of like my group or just a group of people that I knew that was doing the things that I was doing, you know, and it kind of stood out, you know, because you have your people who like a lot of my friends, like they did sports, they did dance, extracurriculars, and like nobody had that sort of like niche kind of thing that set them apart. But what set me apart was like I was the only person that was making films and making movies, and you know it looked really good. And you know when it looks really good and people actually like enjoy it, it's like putting pressure. You know what I mean? And you know it's like it doesn't seem like that from like the outside perspective, but like when you put it on the inside, like it takes a lot, you know, to get where you're going and doing what you're doing, and even the stuff that you do behind the scenes when nobody else is looking. You know, it's a lot of pressure. But I would say for today, I would say it's even more pressure now because I have an audience, you know? It was different when I had, you know, 100 followers on Instagram and, you know, only 15 people saw my project, but now it's on a much different scale. And I'm not even saying that to be like negative, but it's just, it's the truth, you know?
It's a little bit more pressure, definitely.
It is. And, you know, I can't let the pressure stop my greatness and stop what I'm doing. But I look at that pressure as something like, as gold. I find pressure to be golden because once you know how to navigate through the pressure, you're going to be able to produce some of your best products. Yeah. And that's something that I was able to see with myself, you know, with making, you know, the short films and having those doubts like, oh, like are people going to like this, or is this something that I even want to put out there? And it's like it's all that pressure and all those like negative things that are clouding my mind. But walking into it with another perspective and battling on the pressure like at the forefront, it really made my workflow much better. And you know, it takes a lot of pressure still to this day, but knowing how to manage that and getting out of your own head in that aspect, it's only going to launch you much further.
And what was the moment that you realized, you know, I can win at this?
That one moment that I realized that I can win at this is when I won my first international award when I was 14, you know. And I say this to say because like a lot of 14-year-olds like are doing a lot of different things, but I was able to find my passion early. And you know, when I was still so young, like my younger self, I feel like I didn't even comprehend it as much as I should have now. But winning an international award at that age, you know, that really was like the cornerstone saying like, yo, like anything that you put your mind to is possible. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where you're from. None of that matters. You know what I mean? If you have the passion and you have that drive to continue to push further, you will proceed. You know what I mean? You will take that next step. You will continue to be great. And my thing is too, like you could be great, but you also got to be great with the right people behind you. You know what I mean? It takes a village. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have never been able to make that first documentary if it wasn't for the people that I was with to help me get there. You know what I mean? So it takes a village. But once you got that core group and you're able to really lock in on your own passions, the world is literally yours. The world is your canvas, and you can paint it however you want.
That's inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what was the first paid job that you actually had, and how bad was it?
Oh my goodness. Let me think. Because I've done a lot, and I'm blessed to even say that I can say like I've got a lot of stuff down on my roster. I got to think for like one of like my first paid. Oh my goodness. I think that was paid. Should I fact check, or should I just like? I'm not gonna bother her. 'Cause I was gonna say like, hey, do you remember when I did this? But I think I remember.
Yeah,
it,
you can call her.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, let's call her.
Yeah, let's call. Yeah, let's see.
Let's see if it matches.
Oh my goodness.
And if you want to put her on speakerphone.
Oh, got you. Hey, mama. Hey, do you want to be on speaker for this question real quick? Not even question, but like I'm asking you a question. Yeah.
Being recorded.
Yeah. This is it's the question of like what my first like paid job is, and I was gonna say like the New Age Scholars thing, but like I don't I think that was, but like I was gonna say let me fact check this. So now I'm like fact checking it. Would you mind?
I mind.
Oh, okay.
No,
No, I wasn't gonna say no. But like I'm trying to think, like was that it though?
your highest paid.
No, my first.
Your first paid.
Yeah, no.
Let me think about it.
Huh?
Give me a second. Let me think
Yeah, no, because it's on the spot.
goodness gracious.
Yeah, I know. It's not a question that like.
First paid, wasn't that?
Yeah, I know. That's a crazy question. I know.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Moses.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, what was his first paid? As Made by Mojo?
Or Mojo Productions before Made by Mojo, or before I made the switch.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. This is crazy. I wasn't even thinking about that myself.
I would just say
Like that, like.
you can have the same genuinely shocked response, like wow.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
You know, and then pause and then say, I actually remember my first being a photography situation.
Yeah, was that it?
Interact with, you know what I mean?
Was that?
Don't say kid,
Yeah.
but just happened. You just be honest.
Was that it? The all the way back then?
Honestly, if I'm being 100% honest, it could have been, but I'm not. I was,
Yeah. No, you gotta fact check that one.
You've been
Yeah, I know that guy. That's yeah.
I remember my first one as my company.
Yeah, for you, right?
I remember that because I remember the check and I made a copy of it.
I swear it was back when her thingy, like, was it?
Instead of thing and did the photo shoot for the kids.
No. Before that, like when King performed that time.
You were paid for
Oh,
that.
I wasn't paid for that one. Dang, I just did that. Dang. Yeah.
When you were like building up your
Right. All right. I'll have to just like I have to think about it. Yeah. Okay.
all you can do is because the honest reaction is you don't really remember
Right. All right.
it for so long.
Yeah.
And then you can say, I'll have to get back to you after.
No word. I bet. I got you.
Just to be honest.
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, Moses, I'm gonna look on my end and see.
Okay, you're gonna look. Okay, because now if that's the case, because we can always like if you find it before the interview's over, like I could say it, punch it in real quick. But if not, like it's fine.
The question?
Yeah. It was the first paid one.
Yeah, but if we can't find
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll just use the answer. Yeah. That's fine. All right.
or you can have the genuine response.
Yeah. I got you.
It's authentic.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you for that, Mo.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. All right, I gotta get back. Sorry. All right. I got you. All right. See you. All right, we've come to the consensus. The first ever paid shoot that I've done. Not even gonna lie to you, I don't even remember. That's my honest to God truth. I don't remember because there's a lot of things I've done for free for a lot of folk, and even like starting off, like back in 2018, like I wasn't wanting to do it. I never had the eye or the intent of doing it for money. Like I did it because like, hey, I have a camera. Let me make use of like the stuff that I do. So
You was doing it for love.
I was doing it for the love,
That's
for the
huge.
love of the game. And you know, I couldn't even tell you what my first one is, but I remember, like I used to take a lot of photos. Like I started off taking photos, and then it kind of like slowly evolved to videography and filmmaking. But I remember like my first my first paid photo shoot. Like it was with a bunch of other like kids and people. Like just event coverage, you know what I mean? Very easy. You know, it was easy for me, and it wasn't even bad. Like I would look back at those pictures and be like, wow, like I took that. Like wow, that's actually cool.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was nice.
See, so that's not bad at all.
Right,
you
it's
know?
not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Because sometimes when people are starting and they start to get paid, you know, they get into some crazy situations, you know, and sometimes it can just go left.
Right.
Somehow.
Absolutely. And I'm like to think, and it's not. I'm not even looking at the fact of me not remembering it as like a bad thing. I'm like I keep myself busy. You know, I mean, I do so much, so it's like, I mean, yes, for like these stories, it would be useful to like remember what it is, but it's also like I just do a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah.
And what separates a good filmmaker from a great filmmaker, in your opinion?
Dang, that's a phenomenal question. In my opinion, what separates a good filmmaker from a great filmmaker is the risks and the lengths that you're going to take to make the most compelling story. In my opinion, I feel like that is the most thing that like the best thing that will set you apart is just your willingness to take a risk. You know, I had to take so many risks coming up with my filmmaking journey. And a lot of the times, like, I would really question myself on, like, is this risk even going to put me in a position? Like, what am I going to do if I do take this risk? But that's what sets you apart, you know what I mean? Doing something that somebody's never done before and always having, like, that unexpected. Like, doing it and then people be like, oh, my goodness, like, this is something I've never seen before. That's what sets you off. On top of that, having a great story. Because filmmaking is stories. Like, there is no film without a story. Granted, you can pick up a camera and just film some things, but if the story or if there's no like intention behind it, like what really is it for? You know what I mean? So I definitely say like taking that risk 1000% is what separates a great filmmaker from a good filmmaker. And also on top of that is just your willingness to storytell. Like that's if you know how to effectively just convey something to somebody and then them feel something outside of that and reflect and be like, wow, this is actually something great, then you pinned it on the money and you're perfect.
And would you say that's like a mistake that usually the rookies and the beginners they commit when they first starting like actually going into the market and starting doing the video maker? Let me rephrase this real quick.
No, yeah, that's yeah.
You know, so is the storytelling a skill that most beginners underestimate in your opinion?
Absolutely. I think for me, I can speak on my examples specifically. That was the first mistake that, you know, I encountered. Like, everything that it takes to make a story, I did the exact opposite of. Like, you know what I mean? When I can tell you my first ever film that I made, or like my short film that I made, when I first got my camera, it's called Bust Out, which is basically like, it was no story driven. It was just like action scenes and, well, I guess you can say that there was like a plot, you know what I mean? Like, person does this is what happens when somebody does that, and then this is the outcome of that. But, you know, that film was just, it was very just like my trying to make a good film, and then also like make it engaging with like special effects and, you know, all types of stuff. But yeah, like I definitely started off with like the, like, just not amateur. Well, yeah, I would say like amateur. I was an amateur back then, but you know, we all have to start somewhere. And once you kind of identify like what makes a good story, like your beginning, middle, and ending, and just like how you're able to like tell that's the best way to get your audience. You know what I mean? I was able to find my audience through telling stories, and specifically for the people who can relate, like the stories that I tell even in the city, like with my Think You Know Boston series. A lot of people, they don't really see the city as like what it should be, you know what I mean? Like, we have the Celtics, we have the Bruins, the Patriots, but like people, they don't look at like the actual city and what we have to offer. And I feel like using my platform as a filmmaker, but also a storyteller, it's able to convey that message to people who are living in Boston, and even people that aren't living in Boston, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like, once you find that flow and you're able to tell stories the right way, then honestly, like, you're golden. You're gonna find your audience, and you're gonna find your group of people that really resonate with your stuff. And I'm very grateful to say that I think that I found my audience as well. So definitely that.
And this is a very discussed topic, you know, whenever you talk about arts, you know, music, content creation, video making, paint, graffiti, you know, any type of art, music, dance, or whatever. It's the revenue part, right?
Yeah.
So what are the main mistakes that creatives usually do that keeps them broke and without getting paid what they are actually worth?
Dang. That is such a good question. That is such a really good question. What I can say is a mistake, even that I can say in myself, like when I first started, and for a lot of people out there that are like, you know, like with money involved, it's just like, if it's $100 or if it's $1,000 or whatever you make from whatever client or whoever it is, like, don't be so quick to completely spend it all. You know what I mean? Like, for me, for example, when I got like my first like big check, I wanted to spend all of it on getting like the best of the best, like 4K cinema cameras and all of that, the best lenses and everything. But you know, again, I also have my mom who's also like, yeah, you're not in a position to do that yet. Let's think about this first before we jump the gun. You know what I mean? And for my people out there too, like I guess this is like a two-part answer. The first part is like, if you do receive something, like, and if you're just starting out too, like if you're already established, it's a whole different story. But if you're just starting out, I would definitely say stack up your cheese first. You know what I mean? Like, do your first client job, save that money a little bit, do more client jobs, and establish something, you know what I mean? To where, well, if you want to buy something, you can call it an investment. You know what I mean? Because that's something that I was able to do now, like with Made by Mojo, and especially like with the equipment, the editing, the computers, and everything. You know, it's really just an investment. You know what I mean? I've gone to the point where it's like, okay, I'm taking on X amount of clients in this month, I'm taking them on X amount of clients in another month. And like not really using the money that I get from that to not only just contribute to the business, but also to reinvest in myself. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm pretty good with the stuff that I do have now, so I'm not really worried about that. But definitely when I first started getting on, I was like, the biggest check that I got, I just wanted to just spend on just stuff that I feel like at that time would either serve me no purpose, or it would serve me a purpose, but then it would serve me a purpose for the wrong reason. You know what I mean? Because I already had a great 4K camera. You know what I mean? If I can continue to make money with the 4K camera that I already had, like, what would there be the use for me to spend $5,000 on another one? You know what I mean? But now, if you stack up your paper a little bit, you can spend that $5,000 back knowing that you're going to be able to get it back with the work that you do. And that's something that I learned very quickly. Like, investing in yourself and investing in the business is just something that I truly appreciate. And even saying that I'm able to, like, I'm at a point where I can say, hey, like, I can invest it back into myself because I know that I'm going to be able to get this back. It's something that I feel like I'm so glad I was able to learn young. And I encourage a lot of people for whatever type of business that you're trying to run, like, definitely have not only just like the people to guide you in the right way, but like have some knowledge behind that. You know what I mean? I feel like I know a lot of stuff on the business aspect, but I also have, like, again, like, people in my life who, like, understand and know, like, how things work business wise. And so you don't ever want to grow broke. You don't want to lose your money. You just want to continue to invest in yourself. And so,
Man, hold up a second.
Yeah.
Are you really 18?
I
think that's cap, man.
No, I know. Seriously,
Oh my
no.
God.
I just celebrated my 18th, January 24th.
Oh,
so
congrats,
that's
man.
a couple weeks ago. Yeah, thank you so much.
I mean, damn, man. I can see you have, like, great direction. You know, your mother did a great job.
Thank you so much.
And you as well, you know, for being smart and for, you know, looking into learn and looking into develop yourself as a person, you know, and all your knowledge. And
thank you.
Through business, through arts, and I can tell you like an extremely, how I'm gonna say, talented artist, but not just in arts, you know, but in life overall.
Thank you so much. That truly means a lot. You know what I mean? And it's never gonna stop. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna stop this because I know, like, what's bigger on the other side. You know what I mean? And eventually, I want to get to the point, and not even want to, because I feel like I've already set myself up to do this. Like, it's just investing back into those people who don't know where to start, or they don't have, like, the resources or the opportunities that I had coming into it. You know what I mean? I can talk so much about that because, like, just to give you, like, a little thing, like, when I was 14, I created this thing called the Video Production Program, which is essentially a program for 13 to 18-year-olds to learn basic aspects of filmmaking.
And that was 14 years old?
I was 14, and I ran the program from 14 to now, and unfortunately for me, it's my last year doing it as a senior. I'm always going to be able to come back to support the program, but because it's something that I created, and now moving on to, like, this new chapter of my life, like, I don't want to just move on and forget any of the stuff that I built. I want to continue to show the next generation that it is possible. You know what I mean? And I want to continue to, even to this day, like, continue to be a pioneer and saying, hey, listen, if you have an idea, if you have a concept, execute that. You know what I mean? And I want to be able to reinvest back in the community that brought me up, you know what I mean? Providing those opportunities for those kids who want to get into film or who, for whatever creative thing that kind of calls on them. I want to continue to be that platform and show, like, hey, like, it is possible. And I want to be the person that can actually help all the other people who are talented and people who are genuinely leaders, because we are in a generation that are filled with leaders. And it starts with the young people, you know what I mean? Like, it starts with us because, you know, all the older people, I don't want to say like they're not, like, because they have a lot of good ideas, but they rely on us for us to have, like, the fresh ideas, for us to bring, you know, the new things to the table.
We are the young bloods.
Right. So I want to continue to push that. Even when I move on into, like, college or whatever my life takes me on to, I want to continue to always remember where I came from and then soon give it back to the people who brought me up.
That's called purpose, you know. That's a very noble cause.
Thank you.
That you know, working towards, fighting for. And, you know, I appreciate that, the community appreciate that, and very soon the world will appreciate that.
Thank you.
So,
hold on. It said, So we might have to roll the window down
Okay.
because
It's saying that
yeah,
it's hot.
saying that it's hot, but it's still recording, so we're good.
Okay.
Word.
So for you, what's the real difference between doers and talkers?
Oh my goodness. The real difference is like, it really is just in the work. You know what I mean? Like you could say you're gonna do a million different things, but it's like, there's no way for you to prove that if you don't actually do it. You know what I mean? Like for me, I have this mentality of if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. Whether that be something as small as releasing a project or something big as like premiering it somewhere that is completely ambiguous and ambitious. I have that mindset of if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? And that really separates the people who just talk and just say things and, you know, build up hype and then it never happened. And then the people who just actually get stuff done. I think I'm really a doer. Like I would like to get stuff done, and I want to set an example for other people. Like if you're gonna do something, like do it. You know what I mean? Like
Just
speak on
do
your
it.
word and don't let nothing stop you.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Thank you.
So what's your personal rule when motivation disappears?
Dang. It's not even a rule, but it's something. It's just more of like a reminder. It's just to always have faith. You know what I mean? I am very, 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 very faithful, and you know what I mean. For the stuff that I can't, you know, kind of address or just let out, like on a like a human personal scale, I take my faith very seriously. You know what I mean? And for stuff that I can't, like I just said, like I can't even like explain just like as a person, like having that faith and continuing to be faithful is something that, you know, is that backbone for me and always will be. You know what I mean? I never I want to put my faith out there, you know what I mean, and just be proud that I am faithful. And it's something where it's just like at any point in my life, when I'm happy, when I'm sad, like I always have, like God is always there for me, and I always continue to pray every single day, get into my word as much as I can, even for the times that I am busy, you know what I mean? And because I'm at this point in my life where just there is a lot of stuff that's happening, I want to continue to be faithful. And I know that I'm able to reap the benefits of being faithful, but it's also serving, you know, somebody that's not just me, but something much bigger than me and much greater than me.
So
And
God
that's
first always, right?
Always got to put him first, always.
That's what's up. And being grateful always, you know, thanking for everything that it's happening.
Absolutely.
Right?
And listen, without him, I would not be the person who I am. I'm just a vessel. I'm just a vessel.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Thank you.
If someone feels behind, you know, because of age, sometimes, you know, we have social media these days. So you open your Instagram, you open your TikTok, or whatever the social media that you be using, and you see those people, you know, making good. They be driving Limbos, flying private jets, you know, all the bullshit around. What would you say to that people that let themselves get affected by that and think they behind on time, and they start to actually desperate, get anxiety, you know?
And that's actually great. I actually had a conversation with my youth about this. You know what I mean? One thing I can definitely say for anybody that's out there, a good percentage of like the flashy things that you see like other people posting on social media is half of it is not even real. You feel what I mean? Half of it is just a way to get engagement and get people to like, you know, look at their lavish lifestyle. But if you look into like the grand scheme of things, like a lot of the times the stuff that you're seeing is not 100% real. You know what I mean? And I try to encourage people, even with my video production course, like we would have like little side note conversations, but like don't let that stuff get to your head, because a lot of the times it's something that it's just for, you know, attention and entertainment. You know what I mean? Like you see somebody in this private jet, you're like, oh my gosh, like I want to be just like that. I want to be in a private jet. Bro, listen, pray every single day, continue to grind, continue to be the amazing person that you are, and continue to have that mindset and that spirit. And I guarantee you're gonna get there. You know what I mean? And it's just, you don't have to let the things that you see on social media or other people doing dictate who you are as a person. And never using that as a comparison as well. Like that's something that I kind of looked at too, because I even compared myself to like a lot of like other like filmmakers out there. I'm like, dang, I want my films to look just like Steven Spielberg's or Ryan Coogler's, but I can't even compare myself to them. But all I can do is just find my own greatness and continue to build on that. And when I'm able to do that, I'm able to find the fun and the benefits in that as well. So I would genuinely just always say, don't let the stuff that you see on social media dictate who you are, because a lot of the times it's fake. But for me, I like to authenticate, and I like to put out there the most real and genuine version of myself out there. You know what I mean? No filters, no anything. You know what I mean? And a lot of people like, I feel like I know like there's like a question that's in here like about like AI too and like what it's looking like for filmmaking. But like a lot of people like, it's like a lot of it's fake. You know what I mean? And I try to be as authentic as possible with everything that I do, and trying to block out all the nonsense with other people just flashy and social media and stuff.
And that's key, you know, authenticity is key.
It is.
Especially when you're creating content.
Right.
That's very important. It kind of seems like the TD Garden is closed. It must be happening like some sort of event today.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll keep on going here.
Word.
I don't know how much time do we still have left, so I'm just gonna go like straight to the future goals and
that's
dream,
fine.
Just so we don't lose that part,
Do
because
the
that's
footage,
very
right.
that's very important, you know. And then we go back to the others. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's totally fine. If we can't, because I was hoping to get pictures there, we can. If it's not too much for you, like I would love to like go like on the like beginning of Newberry Street, because like it would be cool for me, because it's like
absolutely cool.
Yeah, if we can't get to the TD Garden or to the garden, whatever you want to call it.
I'll try to see if I can go around.
Okay.
Where do you see Made by Mojo 5 years from now?
Jeez. And listen, this is such a great question, because I feel like for the goals that I set myself for 5 years, I'm able to do in maybe 1 or 2 years. You know what I mean? And I always have that mindset and that mentality. And if I continue to do that, like, God willingly, it will happen. You know what I mean? One thing that I want to see Made by Mojo, and this is not to to compare, but just to give an idea of like what it could be. From all my folks who are familiar with A24, the production company, they're responsible for making not only just creative like music shorts, but they're also working with like short films. They made the film Marty Supreme as of recently. I know a lot of people watch that film. But what I want for Made by Mojo to be in the next 5 years is to be the ideal multi-service media production inc. Whether that be with short films, with feature-length projects, music videos, promotional content, and even just like client work. I want Made by Mojo to be the #1 media service that anybody talks about and everybody talks about. And I don't want to limit myself either. I want to continue to be a franchise to where it's not just one thing that, you know, videos, oh, this dude only makes short films. No. I want it to be way more than just videos. I want it to expand much greater. And I feel like I'm kind of setting myself up already to be in that position. So
absolutely.
Super excited for the future.
You're sharing culture, you know?
Yeah.
You're sharing culture.
Thank you.
And what kind of legacy do you want to actually leave behind?
I want to leave at least the specific legacy of like, if you're passionate about doing something, not only just being great at what you do, but also spreading it with the people around you. Because again, everybody looks at you like as an example, you know what I mean? Regardless, you know what I mean? I have people who I appreciate, who I look up to, but then I know that there's a lot of people who look up to me, you know what I mean? With the stuff that I do, or just even me just being a person. But one thing I would say, just to leave people off with, is just like, if you're trying to talk about legacy, or if you're trying to like build a legacy, just put in the work to do it. You know what I mean? Do it because you love to do it, but also do it because there's people looking at you as an inspiration, so they can then be something great of themselves. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to do. That's what that's what I continue to appreciate, that I'm even able to be in a position to where I could do that. And never in a million years would I be able to say like I'm inspiring other people to make films. I remember it was crazy. I made this film about procrastination, and a week later I found out somebody in Africa like recreated my video, and they even hit me up saying like, listen, I was really inspired by this, and it's part of the reason why they make films now, and they're really good at it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's really cool. It is really cool, and that's just the legacy piece that I'm talking about. Just continue to put in the work and be influential for others, because you never know who's watching you.
Yeah, that's the word.
Thank you.
If it's open right here, where do you want to stop? Because probably right in front of TD Garden, it will not be open.
Yeah, if it's not open right in front, then we can go. I didn't
because
want to.
What's your idea? For
just like to get like pictures, like the door open pictures of me like in the car. You know what I mean? Like, and low key it would be like, because now there is a lot of people. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people on Newberry Street right now.
Oh yeah.
So if we go like at the front of Newberry Street, then like it's fine. I didn't know that there was something happening.
Oh, me neither. Me
like
neither.
this is and that's also like, listen, like real life Boston. You know what I mean? Like we were for people who's watching. Like we were trying to go to TD Garden to get some content. There's an event that's happening at TD Garden. we make do. This is the city never stops. We're always moving. So. It's maybe that's a good thing that's happening.
This is the Boston motion,
It is.
That's the Boston motion for sure.
It is. The city's always moving, always.
And how do you feel about social media, AI shaping the creativity today? Do you think that's a blessing or that's a curse?
I feel like for the future of filmmaking, it definitely could be. Emphasis on could. It could be a curse because, again, a lot of people, they're looking at AI and filmmaking like, is this real? Is this fake? Like, what's going on? I look at AI as such an effective resource to like better help. I'm not gonna say that it is creativity, because nothing beats the creativity that you have like from your mind. That's your most powerful tool. You are your most powerful tool. But do I think AI is an effective resource? Absolutely. I think if you know how to work it right, like you can get great stuff from AI. You know what I mean? Like whether that be with like, spending hours doing like a special effect, or if you're trying to just do something like fun or cool to experiment. AI is great for that. Nothing's gonna beat the true creativity though.
Which is you. You are shaping the AI, right?
And I will always say that, like, I will never say like AI is going to be like the best thing ever. I will never say that, because the best thing ever is you. The stuff that you put to the table, your creative thoughts, your original ideas, your everything is the most important.
They will never be able to replicate that.
And it's raw. It's raw. It's real, and nobody's gonna be able to replace that. But I want people to continue to be inspired. You know what I mean? And you could use AI as a resource, but like nothing beats the power of the mind. Is not a joke. You know what I mean? Like you can use so many thoughts and ideas and make real change, a real difference. So I definitely see it's definitely a great tool, but again, power of the mind. If you're having an idea or a thought, stand on that thought and don't let AI. It could help you expand on that thought, but I think that raw, natural thought is much better than AI on any day, any occasion.
And do you think the newer generations, such as Gen Z and etc., they have more pressure than the past generations had?
I would say a little bit. I would definitely say a little bit, because, like I said earlier, like we're kind of put in this position to be, like, because everybody's looking at us now. Like what I already said before is just like we're the generations of the people who are actually doing it. And if you're put in that position where you have to show up, you have to show out, there's gonna be a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? And it does take a lot of pressure, but I know that we are capable of doing it because I've seen it. You know what I mean? Like I've seen people who are around my age that are doing great stuff. You know what I mean? And it doesn't seem like it's a lot of pressure, but it's something that we are all experiencing, whether you like it or not, or you see it or you don't see it. You know what I mean? It's something that we're all going through. And yeah, I think we're a generation that's filled with people who know how to manage that, and because we know how to do that, we can effectively grow with each other and make the best quality stuff. So yeah, that's the best way I can put it.
And what's one trend in content creation you think it's overhyped?
Ooh, my goodness. I feel like this is low-key kind of niche for the filmmakers, but like getting your camera and just filming a random carnival, come on, guys. And that, like, I see that so many, like using the same like orange and teal like color palettes and everything, and or not even palettes, like color schemes and whatnot. Like it is very like pleasing to watch, you know what I mean? But I feel like it's something that everybody does, and I wanna like push creativity. And not saying that it's not creative. I just feel like that's just a lot of people just see, you know, bringing a Sony FX3 to a state fair and filming it is like it, and it's hard because
It's not it, right?
It's not like it. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not sitting here and saying like it's the bad thing, but I feel like there's so much more that you can do with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But do I see it working for a lot of people? Yeah. Like if you want to record, you know, state fairs with a very, very nice camera, please listen, do that. Like you go do that. However, I want to push more of like a creative thing. Like how could we step outside of that box? Like what are some other things that people, you know, don't really look at to film? Could we like film that? You know what I mean?
And what are those creative lanes that you think that people are just sleeping on?
I would say just going outside and exploring. That's, I feel, is the most creative that I've ever been. Just going outside and just being outside and exploring. Because you're able to learn so much, not even just like with yourself, but just like how you are creatively. And even if you're just outside, like having your camera on you is always perfect. But just taking a walk and just looking at nature, just looking at the buildings and even the small things. Like you can, something as small as like a light post, or I'm gonna wait for this ambulance to go by. Something as simple or as small as just like a street sign, or like a flower that's growing off of a tree. Like all of those things have stories in them or within themselves. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like how did that flower get to be where, like how it looks right now, or what was the process on making that street light? Like everything has a story aspect to it. And one thing that just is like breaking out of that creativity bubble is just being abstract. Like taking ordinary things that you just see and take advantage of like every day and making something out of it. You know what I mean? That's what I definitely cherish.
And you'd say like your photograph vision kind of helps you a little bit with that, especially because you started taking pictures, right? Doing the photograph part.
Yep.
So I kind of feel like it's a little bit different, the vision from a video maker, from like whoever's taking a picture actually.
Right.
So you think that helped you a little bit regarding like your creativity, or you think that's nothing related to that?
No, like absolutely. I feel, and again, like,
you know what I mean? Because if I say like some wrong word, you just correct me. Because sometimes I kind of be thinking in Portuguese.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
you know
true.
I mean?
No, that's I know exactly what you're saying. Like with combining like both, like photography or filmmaking is photography. Mm-hmm. For the people who don't really know, like the process in taking one still photograph and expanding that photograph with motion and light, obviously too, that's what filmmaking is. Mm-hmm. And for me, like the same principles apply. Like I started off with photography. I was able to like learn basic composition, stuff like that. And those are a lot of the skills that I implement in my filmmaking as well. Just the abstractness of taking a picture or shooting it at a higher angle, a lower angle, or something that kind of meets, like it kind of like you have to scratch your head, like how is he doing this? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's something like those skills that I learned just like with taking pictures before I even, you know, started filmmaking. I still use those to this day. Mm-hmm. And so definitely if you know some knowledge, apply it. Apply it as much as you know. Apply as much as you know.
So now this is getting deep.
Yeah.
What is your biggest fear in life?
Oh my goodness. Dang.
If you're not feeling like answering that's
fine. I feel like I would. That's an excellent question. My biggest fear, I would say, is not. Dang, that's a great question. My biggest fear, I would definitely say, is just not putting enough into myself, or not knowing how much, you know, I truly am. You know what I mean? And again, it's not like your most common answer, but I feel like, you know, I fear me losing into myself. You know what I mean? Like people, they're just like, oh, like what are you talking about? Like when you say that, what I'm thinking about it as is just like, you know, you're doing so many different things, but you don't want to get lost. You don't want to fall into like a pit where you can't get out of. And I feel like on top of that, like it's just it creates sort of like that scariness, like, oh my goodness, like I'm in this hole, like what am I gonna do? And you kind of get lost. And that's one of my biggest fears, you know what I mean? And you know how I overcome those fears and those doubts and whatnot is just to continue to put out great work. You know what I mean? And don't let the negative thoughts cloud over my mind, because I know that, you know, what I'm doing is great for the city, for myself, and just finding the fulfillment like in myself too. You know what I mean? And being like fulfilled in the stuff that I'm doing. I would also say too is just like another, it's not like necessarily like a fear, but it's just like, it's just like, yeah, no, not even just that. Just like fearing just not putting as much into myself that I know I'm beyond capable of doing. And I'm trying to make it make sense, but I'm saying like, you are your best friend. Sometimes you can also be like your biggest enemy. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of things that's just like, this is why like I think it's important to like have like those groups of people with you, because again, like you can look over something that you have no idea like is actually really, really great in somebody else's eye, you know what I mean? And it's like a constant battle within yourself. And so I would definitely say just like getting over that and showing how worthy you are and putting a lot of self-worth into yourself. Like I think that is incredibly crucial.
And what would you say to the younger you crying at night?
Never give up. For the little kid, talking to him right now is just to say never give up and do not quit. Because there's something much bigger on the other side waiting for you. Because the passion, you already have it. You know, you already have this vision. You already have this goal that you want to achieve. You already want to, you know, be a platform and be a leader for other kids and other people and other whoever. But you have to get outside of your own head and don't be your biggest enemy. And that's something that I look at even right now. And that's something that I try to continue to get over. Because, again, not a lot of people were doing or are doing the stuff that I was and that I am doing now. You know, and what you were talking about with pressure, it does take a lot of pressure. But you also know the saying that pressure makes diamonds. And once you get to the point where you look at yourself and you look at the bigger picture and look at the stuff that you're doing, the positive impacts that you're making, the connections that you're building, the lives you're even changing, don't stop doing it. Because if you stop, you're going to fall back into another path where it may be kind of hard to get off of. But continue to just keep going with all the stress, with all the negativity. If you have the 3 F's, I like to call it, faith, family, and foundation. If you have those things close in your life, utilize it. Continue to utilize the tools that is already in your life to succeed. And once you have those things, you will, for sure, without a doubt in my mind, be successful. And I am super, super blessed and grateful to say that I have those things in my life. And to say that I found success as well is something that I'm incredibly blessed to even say. So definitely keep those 3 F's behind you and always look at the bigger picture, because you are talented, you are great, and you are special.
And what's the one word for your future self?
One word for my future self: greatness. That's all it is. Greatness.
Yeah. Bright future ahead.
Bright future. Oh, man.
And talking about a bright future, what's your dream collab?
Ooh, dream collab?
Yeah.
Dang, that... Because again, I love so many people. Because my thing is like, if it's filmmaking, like making like a story, Ryan Coogler, 1000%. Sit me down in a room with him. I guarantee you, we would make some craziness. I look up to his work. I recently rewatched his movie Sinners too, and it just I've never seen somebody make a story so changing like that, just in a visual medium. I've never seen that before in my life. So when it comes to feature-length films, Ryan Coogler, my guy. Music videos, gotta be Dave Free and Cole Bennett. Those are the people who I watched growing up. Those are the people who really, you know, inspired me to like actually just get out and shoot. You know what I mean? Like, at least for Cole Bennett, I used to see a lot of his behind the scenes videos where he has his camera and he's just running and gunning. And that's kind of what I learned, like, with filming, is just like, just film everything. You know what I mean? I would love to collab with, you know, Cole Bennett and Dave Freed. That's another one of like my favorite contemporary directors. He's done a lot of work with Kendrick Lamar in the past, and, you know, having that relationship and just seeing his eye for things. Like, I've always been fascinated with that. So I would definitely love to dream collab with him as well.
And Moses, it's more than proof that you don't need permission to actually chase your dream and to make it and to go all the way into your vision.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of discipline and consistency. Mojo, thank you for your real talk.
Absolutely.
You are a great guest.
Thank you.
Thank you for choosing Limo app.
Absolutely.
We going nationwide. We expanding so fast. We have the best drivers in the country. We have the best vehicles, you know, providing the best experience to our customers. You know, VIPs, celebrities.
Everything.
Regular people, artists, you know, we are the preferred choice of everybody.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
Everybody out there, Limo is the best service you will ever work with. You guys have professional drivers. You have just professional people, you know what I mean? And you will not be disappointed. You will have one of the best chauffeuring experiences ever. Choose Limo. Buy
Choose Limo.
App Store, let's go.
And drop on the comments where you want to see us next. You know, drop names that you want to see as a guest here, and we'll make it happen for sure. And this is it.
Word. Love y'all. Thank you all so much.
I appreciate you, bro. This is Limo Talk. See you in the next episode.
Peace.